Yes guys, Jez here, back with another video. You read the title. This is an emergency Bitcoin update right now. A lot of people are calling for cycle tops. I've gone into the charts and I've seen a few signals flashing, potentially giving us some warning signs. You can see right now on the screen that we're having a potential double top for the Bitcoin price right now. And of course, we're having a rising wedge pattern that's on the brink of breaking towards the downside. So we need to be covering every single scenario in the market that I have prepared for you guys. And we need to be covering all the relevant data pieces, not just for Bitcoin, but also Ethereum. Also, we're going to be looking at the liquidation heat maps over there. We're going to be looking at the higher time frames also, and we're going to be covering all the relevant news up and coming this week too. So make sure to be staying tuned to the end and make sure to smash up that like button. Let's try to get above 10 likes this video. That'll be absolutely insane. And with that being said, let's get straight away into this banger. Bow. So for that imminent short term, you can see that Bitcoin is perfectly broken down from this trend line that we highlighted on yesterday's video. So congratulations if you were cautious after my video. I said there was a massive breakout in the next 24 hours and we got that breakout just like stated in the last video. And we said that this is the next important zone to be watching for the Bitcoin price. You can see that we have a support level highlighted where we had previous resistance and then we came up and we had a nice support before going to all-time highs, and this level is from 112k to 110k. so if we come in towards this level again, I do see a Bitcoin bounce happening and we can potentially trade towards the top of the range. And of course we can see Bitcoin continue the rally again if we can hold that support level and flip it, of course, after breaking these two levels over here. But let's not jump the gun. We need to still be holding this trend line that we have on the short term for Bitcoin, and we need to start to see Bitcoin have some strength and at least see a consolidation before some sort of a pump. But of course, we need to be highlighting the most important thing in this video, which is the higher time frames after this dump. So of course, you're seeing this double top scenario and a lot of people are calling for a cycle top. And of course, this rising wedge, which can be drawn a bit differently. You could draw it like this and it's showing that the rising wedge is actually breaking towards the downside now. But of course, I think the most accurate region is to be using the wicks. And right now, we're not really breaking down from this rising wedge, so there's nothing to be worrying about. And in my opinion, you can compare it to gold, and gold's fractal on the monthly time frame showed that it had a rising wedge and then it broke towards the upside. And I think Bitcoin is likely to do the same. Maybe not to scale, but of course, I think that we're still in the uptrend, so there's nothing to be worrying about. You know, we're holding within this range. Bitcoin is just ranging right now whilst Ethereum steals the show, which I'll be covering later when I look at the crypto money rotation. But yeah, again, the next level of support again for me will be 111k right now, testing this previous high, and we can see a nice bounce again. So if we come in towards this level, we need to definitely be holding it, because if we start to lose this low, then of course we're not on an uptrend anymore. We're not having higher highs and higher lows. We're going to be, you know, breaking the market structure and potentially heading towards the lower side of the range. Now, to clarify, you may be thinking that this looks very similar, but we can go in towards our previous cycles and see if we ever had the same thing happening twice. And you can see in 2013, we had one massive pump towards the upside, a correction before we topped out. And then in 2017, people were expecting Bitcoin to have one pump, a correction, and then followed by another one. However, in 2017, it was just a parabola towards the upside. And then in 2021, people were thinking that this point here was going to just be a parabola towards the upside. But we had a shakeout before putting in a higher high, creating this M formation pattern. And of course, that's where we had a massive move towards the downside. And this is the same thing that's happening right now. We're creating this M formation, this double top scenario. And I think a lot of people will be getting trapped. I think the next point we're going to be doing is moving towards the upside first. We're going to be having a distribution range before we actually start to move towards the downside, or something different than last cycle. Of course, we've never had the same thing happening twice, so I don't think it's going to be happening now. And another thing that makes me say this is the global liquidity. Now, the global liquidity is still trending towards the upside, and it predicts that the Bitcoin price is going to be following as it did at that bottom over there that we perfectly highlighted on the channel. So I don't think that Bitcoin is going to be topping out anytime soon. I think that we could start to consolidate or at least grind towards the upside slowly whilst Ethereum steals the show. So yeah, for that short term, I do think that this is going to be a solid region for Bitcoin to be holding. So we need to be seeing if Bitcoin can hold this level in and around the 110k level over there. And yeah, if you're agreeing with my analysis and you're agreeing with my opinion, make sure to check out our first link down below. And if you want to be taking some trades, you could be using Bittrex, because that first link down below is for Bittrex right there, offering about 100,000 in deposit bonuses for newcomers, as you can see. So make sure to be signing up with code Jez over here, or just using that first link down below, or fill this automatically. And all you need to do is just fill in your email, your password, and then you're signed up already. So make sure to be using that first link down below for Bittrex. Now for Ethereum, you can see that we've perfectly come in towards our support level that we highlighted yesterday. I did say that it's unlikely we're going to be breaking this level towards the upside. I said that it's likely we can come in towards the support, and this is where we can find some support before rallying towards the upside again. And this is exactly what's happening. So this down sloping trend line is the most important trend line we need to be looking in towards for Ethereum. If we can actually start to break out of this trend line, that's where we're going to be moving parabolic for the Ethereum price. You can actually draw some sort of a flag right here for Ethereum, and this is looking quite nice for a bull flag pattern, and we can remove the support level, and this is going to be the most important thing to be looking at for Ethereum. But if Ethereum actually starts to reject from this resistance level and we start to head towards the downside, I think the lowest point that we're going to be getting is about that 4K level. So this is the previous high right here, and it's around the 3.9K level that Ethereum can actually start to see a bounce from. And what that looks like on a higher time frame, of course, a nice move back down to the support level before rocketing towards the upside. So that's actually looking quite good. And of course, on a monthly time frame, that would look like a retest of this perfect symmetrical triangle before moving towards the upside. And of course, the MACD is flipping bullish for Ethereum. So that's actually looking amazing. And I don't think that the strength is going to stop anytime soon. One reason why I'm saying that, of course, is because you're having your large investors actually accumulating Ethereum whilst retail dumps on this dip. But this is exactly what we've been seeing previously, where large investors are accumulating right at that ETH bottom you can see, and retail have been dumping, and then the Ethereum price keeps on rocketing towards the upside. This is the exact thing we're seeing right now, and retail still failed to actually catch on. So I think if you're watching this channel and you want to be ahead of the masses, you need to be definitely staying bullish until proven otherwise. And you can see that a lot of people are actually short. You know, institutions are shorting heavily whilst Ethereum keeps on pumping, and this is perfect fuel to the fire that's leading to Ethereum actually testing its previous all-time high, you can see. So of course, I'm not going to be remaining bearish. I'm still bullish, and of course, this is fuel for the next rally, as you can see. So that's looking extremely good. So if you want to be taking advantage and you want to be long on Ethereum and getting ready for that next massive move, then definitely be checking out first link down below for Bittrex. So yeah, that'll be it for me. Make sure to be following me on X to be staying up to date with all my updates over here, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Have a blessed rest of your day. Peace, guys. See ya. Bye bye.